Steve Prince here. It's sometime in late February. I forgot the date. Anyway, I gotta do this over. These are unscripted, so when I do them with them when I'm really tired, I end up saying something mean or stupid. So let me start over again. Obviously, like I've been trying to, let people know that I am looking for companionship. I'm, trying to date a woman, biological woman. And and I've asked lots of girls around here, do you want to go to a dance class or go canoeing or write a song or whatever, uh, go hiking, anything, cook together, whatever. And I didn't keep getting shot down, so there's really no reason to stay here. In North Carolina, Wake County, there's um, the determination to treat me like trash when I don't deserve it, like to treat me like lump me together with the misogynists or the wife beaters or the rapists and stuff. Like I'm not any of those guys. So if these women want to treat me this way, that's on them. That's their negative behavior, um, and their dishonesty is what it is. But uh, like dating automatically just requires us to step outside of our comfort zone. It's part of it, and it's worth it though, because when you find that right person, you find sublime happiness, and it's a good thing. And you know, I obviously, I'm not gonna like every woman, and they're not all gonna like me, and that's fine. That's why I got to meet people. I got to like actually go on normal, actual dates, like normal behavior, and do things with people one on one, and enjoy making some good memories and stuff, and enjoy that dynamic, the male female dynamic. It's very pleasant. And I don't buy into the BS, the pop culture propaganda that women don't want companionship or partnership anymore. That's not true. Some are like that, but that doesn't speak for all of them. And I don't buy into the propaganda that's trying to push like hookup culture and like egocentricity. Like the way to happiness is just be all about yourself, and treat relationships as some sort of transactional, you know, like that, like a transaction. Like I'm not into that. That's not, those people aren't happier than me. They're not wiser than me. So I don't want what they have. And in the way it's described really in the scriptures is that way for a reason. This man and this woman made for each other, uh, became an autonomous pair together. They're not beholden to anyone, and their family is their family, and together they're wiser, happier, and stronger than they were apart. And that reflects reality much more than this nonsense that we have today, that's trying to divide people and increase our isolation and our selfishness and all that. Like these are not healthy trends. But and in terms of that's what I want for my life, is companionship. So um in terms of, like, if I mean, obviously there has to be some compatibility, like things that we enjoy doing together, and affection. But you're not going to know if you don't spend time with someone. You won't know what it's like to be in their presence and feel, whether you feel, you know in, invigorated and safe, and to be yourself, like at the same time, and like challenged, to grow and all that stuff at the same time. You won't know if they see you, or at least are trying to see you, and which can sometimes takes time. And you won't know, like, if when you touch each other, that's when you're going to know if there's chemistry. Otherwise you don't know. Like, so there's a lot of people, they think they're going to get information from a from a rumor, or from a photo, or from a online swipe on the apps, right? Like there's very minimal information there, and it's just not that's not real dating. It's not the real thing, and you're not going to make any memories that way either. You're not going to learn any experience from your mistakes in communication and stuff. Like you're just going to sit there swiping on your app. Okay, anybody can move their thumb. Anybody could twiddle their thumbs. Like, good for you. And then, and these like people that are like on these chat bots and sex bots and they're deep fake stuff. Like, look, if that's your thing, then you're definitely the wrong girl for me, because look, here's the problem with that, or guys and girls, it goes both ways. But the problem is, if you're relying on that, then even when you find someone, you're basically going to be cheating on your partner with a machine. So it's not going to be healthy, and so I just don't want that to be like, that's not for me, and I don't think it fosters a really rewarding, like a deep bond or a rewarding relationship. I don't think it's a good idea. But I know people are lonely. I get that. Okay, I get it. And also like the power tripping, like crap testing. Let's do a bunch of messed up stuff, and make them jump through hoops, and we'll see if, oh well, maybe he's good enough after passing all my little tests. Well, the problem with that is, first of all, you're imposing automatically an assumption of superiority and inferiority automatically from the start. You're also imposing from the start a practice of manipulation instead of nurturing. So it's not going to lead to a wholesome reciprocal relationship. What's going to happen is either they're going to be like, okay, you don't respect me, so I'm going to leave, or they're going to eventually figure out what you're doing, and they're going to have to be like, okay, well, how do we trust each other now, right? So it's almost like undermining any future from the start. It's just not a good idea. You want to know someone, be real with them, and pretty quick you'll figure out how they're going to respond to your you. um, anyway, so, and it just, you don't want to be treated that way, right? So if you want to have love, you have to be love. To receive love, give love, right? It's just makes sense. Anyway, what else was there? There's some women who like do appeal to me strongly because of things that we share in common, and they're lovely and all that stuff, and but even these ones that I feel very strongly for and would definitely like to spend quality time with, and will not hesitate to ask if I get a chance. I'm referring to people that are not here locally, so and they are in a status of some level of popularity, I would say. So even in cases like that, there's always a difference between like a celebrity crush, right, versus an actual, like, there's definitely a very powerful, meaningful resonance here, right, in a potential for something beautiful, like a really powerful dynamic, but again, you don't know unless you spend time together, because like we've never we've never written a song or done a project together. We've never danced together. We've never kissed. We've never gone for a weekend getaway, right? So we might say, okay, there's such and such high probability that we will like each other, but we don't really know. So I don't want to put that kind of pressure on someone, unless I know, I do realize that, once in a while, some people just meet each other and they just kind of like know. Especially you'll find like more often among religious people, they'll be like, yeah, we both got like a sign, we just knew, and now it's decades later and we're soulmates and everything, and that's a beautiful thing. If that happens for you, that's wonderful. But it doesn't always happen that way. I mean, sometimes you just have to meet people and be like, hey, that was fun, I kind of like you, let's do something again, and it just grows and evolves. But that takes, it does take some effort, and there has to be a little bit of mercy and patience along the way, right? Because it seems like everybody's awkward now, except for the really like predatory people that kind of have it down to a weird, creepy. Uh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry that whatever. Um, I shouldn't be making assumptions, right? And some people are just charismatic and savvy, and that's cool. Good for them. But a lot of people are shy until you kind of get through their safety net, right? What else was there? I'm trying to just like remember all this off the top of my head. But look, I need to enjoy healthy, normal life before it's, too late, obviously. And I'm 45 now. Only just, I kid you not, like when I was 40, most people guessed my age at 28 to 30. Now look at my face. Look at what stress and deprivation and other terrible things that were done have like done to my cells, and like, just 5 years ago, I could hop over the rocks like a gazelle. I mean, I kid you not. And it was kind of trippy actually, but now there's like so much pain in my body that I thank God when I can like even just, go work in the garden or do some yoga or go for a walk. Like I feel grateful, but I don't want that to decline because I'm not allowed to enjoy the obvious benefits of, being touched by someone and cuddled and all that good stuff. All those things we all know that's healthy. It's healthy for the mind, body, and soul. And so I think it's sad that some people are so fearful of any intimacy that they just avoid it all on purpose. But I'm not avoiding it. Like I'm definitely open to it. All right. Am I forgetting anything else? I don't know. Probably. But this is the kind of stuff you just kind of figure it out as you go along. So please give me a chance, do something with me, like us one-on-one. And we might, you never know, sparks could fly, magic could happen, whatever. Or we might just have a really good time and then, date someone else. I don't know. It doesn't have to be super high pressure, but it could turn out really, really good. That could happen. And it automatically won't happen if we don't do something together. If we don't go on a date, then nothing happens, right? So to me, it just makes sense to take a little leap of faith, because then we might fly. Could happen. All right, that should be all. That's good.